Good evening, I'm Ann. Scott's off tonight, and we start tonight at 6 with hundreds of flights canceled across the country as the FAA begins those flight reductions. It's impacting thousands of travelers, including right here in Indianapolis. Our Jenna Webster joins us live from the airport. She's been there all day and joins us with what we're seeing there so far. What's the impact, Jenna?
Well, we know that today is really just the beginning of that impact. We know that this is just on day one. It's going to continue to get worse and worse as, the week goes on, as those flight reductions continue to increase. And that's kind of something that we've seen today when we've been monitoring and looking at the flight status board, is that as the day has gone by, we have continued to see more and more delays pop up on that board. Right now, we do have about 2 cancellations. We've got a canceled flight that was scheduled for 6:25 on American Airlines to Chicago O'Hare, another one that was scheduled to go to DC a little bit later tonight. So far, though, good news if you're traveling out really early tomorrow morning, those 5 a.m. flights. Right now, all are saying they're on time. Airlines, again, they're starting out today with a 4% reduction, and the Indianapolis airport is pretty much right on track with that. FlightAware says 10 flights leaving Indy are canceled and 7 flying here canceled today. That makes up about 3% of total flights, according to FlightAware. Now, passengers that I talked to say they're a little worried, but their day is going better than they expected.
We keep checking just to make sure everything's on time, but I think we're feeling pretty good. It seems like it's a little bit less busy than we thought it would be, which is kind of nice, but I think we'll be fine.
Now, the other thing we've heard from passengers today is that they understand why this is happening. They understand it's for safety, but they still find it a little bit frustrating that the government shutdown is causing this. And they feel like no one really kind of knows what's going on with these flights right now. But for a lot of people, they're saying so far, so good. Airlines are trying to be flexible. They're offering you that you can change, rebook, cancel your flight, and they're removing those penalties for you. We do know Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary, said today that even when the government does reopen, whenever that happens, it is going to take some time to get those air traffic controllers back to work. So you might still need to expect delays as the government shutdown continues, even when the government reopens. And
all right, Jenna, thanks so much. And keep in mind, if you're traveling and your flight happens to be canceled, you could be stuck paying for an extra night in a hotel. Coming up here at 6:30 over on WTHR Plus, our streaming show, we break down some ways that you can try and save money if that happens to you. Angela joins us live from the State Fairgrounds tonight, opening night for the Christmas lights. And as it gets darker, boy, a lot prettier scene there behind you, Angela.
Yes, it is spectacular, Anne-Marie, and yes, it's hard to believe this is opening night of Christmas Nights of Lights here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Over 1 million LED lights, and you can see them sparkle and shine on this beautiful Friday evening. This is the beginning of this very fun family event that runs through the end of December. You do need to buy tickets online. You actually book a time slot, but you can pack everyone in the car and come see some beautiful displays here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Speaking of beautiful, wow, we were near 70 today. Operation Football sectional finals tonight. Temperatures in the 50s under a mainly clear sky, and that will set us up for some sunshine early on Saturday. Monumental Marathon is downtown. Remember, there are lots of road closures and detours around the marathon course. Runners happy in the 40s. From there, the rest of the Saturday forecast will have high temperatures with increasing clouds in the low 60s. We do have a rain chance, rain returning for Saturday night into Sunday. It's going to mix with some snow, and we've upgraded Monday to a weather impact alert day. More on that in the full forecast.
All right, Angela, thanks. We will check back. And tomorrow is Coats for Kids Distribution Day over at the fairgrounds. Also, the Monumental Marathon is returning to downtown Indianapolis as well. There will be a traffic impact. Lindsay Monroe, make sure you are ready for what will be closed and how to reroute.
We will have some road closures this upcoming Saturday because the Monumental Marathon is going to be going on from downtown Indianapolis up to the Broad Ripple area up to about 64th Street. So each stretch of roadway here is going to be closed at essentially a different time as the marathon plays out, but specifically want to focus on the area around the State Fairgrounds. That's because there's going to be a distribution day going on for Coats for Kids. Now, this is for select families that have already been notified that you will be taking part in this, and we want to make it a little easier for you to get to the state fairgrounds. First, know that 38th Street is going to be blocked between 8 o'clock in the morning and 11:15 because of that race route. So those folks at the fairgrounds and the Salvation Army want you to be prepared to get into the fair, not by using these gates here off of Benford or 38th Street, but your access point to get to the Coats for Kids distribution day will be off of G2. That's gate 2, the address 1051 East 42nd Street. So you'll want to come in from the north if you are headed downtown to the state fairgrounds for Coats for Kids distribution day this upcoming Saturday.
Thank you, Lindsay. And now to an update in a deadly shooting that went down last weekend. We now have learned a second teen has died. The Marion County Coroner's Office has identified him as 17-year-old Jontavian Davis. Davis and another 17-year-old were shot near 38th and Central Sunday afternoon. Both went to the hospital in grave condition. The other teen, Yona Jeffers Telfair, died Monday. And still tonight on Friday night, no word of any suspect or arrests in the case. Also tonight, a family is now suing the Indiana Department of Child Services over the starvation death of a little 5-year-old girl. Rich Nye live here in studio with us tonight with why the lawsuit says that DCS was negligent. Rich.
Anne Marie, the lawsuit alleges that DCS and its caseworkers failed to properly investigate repeated reports over several years that Kinsley Welty was neglected and malnourished. I want to warn you of a disturbing image. 5-year-old Kinsley Welty weighed just 21 pounds on the day she died. This disturbing photo of her legs was taken at the hospital that day in April 2024. Kinsley's mother, Toni McClure, goes on trial for murder in March. She was previously convicted of neglecting Kinsley just a few weeks after she was born. A lawsuit filed by Kinsley's father and grandfather claims DCS failed to properly investigate 6 separate reports about Kinsley being malnourished before her death.
They complained that Kinsley was starving. Nobody seen her, but they closed the case.
The lawsuit claims DCS negligence allowed McClure to neglect and torture Kinsley inside this house, where the child was allegedly kept locked in a closet up to 20 hours a day.
She was a convicted abuser. Plenty of evidence seen over that 5-year span. Plenty.
And Toni McClure's boyfriend, Brian Smith, and McClure's mother, Tammy Halsey, are also charged in Kinsley's death, and they go on trial next month for neglect resulting in death.
Yeah, you were right about those pictures. That just really brings it home. So disturbing
Right.
and sad. Yeah, Rich, thank you so much. The government shutdown is threatening funding to keep your home heated this winter. What those who receive the assistance are saying as they get closer to losing that support. And dozens of workers at the Indiana Department of Health now are facing temporary unemployment when they potentially could be out of a job. And what comes next?